Hi cuties. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm here. I've been filming a lot today. Just FYI, if you didn't know, I film videos in bulk. Hi! I don't even know how to start this video. I'm just gonna talk about book covers because why not? I'm not an artist and I can't draw to save my life. I don't know how to do graphic design, but you know, obviously I should tell everyone my opinion about book covers. Again, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Here's the thing. I read a lot. I am very attracted to certain types of covers, and there are certain types that I really don't like. So today I'm going to present you with 5 types of covers that I cannot resist and 5 types of covers that I vehemently hate. I'm very singy apparently today too. And disclaimer, these are my own opinions. Again, you don't have to agree with me. You can have your own opinions. We can coexist just fine. So I think we'll get the hate out of the way first. Let's do that. We'll do bad news first and then good news. I have a lot of covers that I see and I just cringe a lot, and it hurts me. It hurts me so much. One that I've talked to multiple times before is having pretty skinny model ladies in very beautiful dresses on covers of books, especially those geared towards YA. Couple examples. We have Before She Ignites by Jodi Meadows. I've got The Betrothed here by Kiera Cass. All of Kiera Cass books have some pretty model on them, and while I don't like the covers, I actually haven't read either of these, so I don't know if I like the interior of them either, but I've heard good things, at least about this. I've heard mixed reviews about this one, but I do like the Selection series by Kiera Cass, so I'm able to get past that kind of cover. But the problem that I see on these covers is that it promotes this idea for girls to be, you know, pretty, skinny, beautiful. I appreciate this one more because it is a POC cover, but again, for girls like me growing up, where everything is always pushed on you to be skinny, to be this ideal woman that men want, that society thinks that women should be, it doesn't really promote a lot of self-love, especially for girls who aren't conventionally pretty, who grow up ugly. And that's, for me, I'm one of those, I grew up ugly. Didn't stop there. Sorry, self-deprecating humor is how I hide my pain. Especially for a girl who grew up fat and is still fat to this day, these covers I think are very detrimental to the mental health of its readers. That's why I don't like this type of cover, even though I own several of these, but that's because lots of popular books will have this, and I just wish it would stop. Do not have an example of this because I don't buy books like this, but the next cover that I don't like is like the generic sci-fi fantasy covers. And what I mean by this is, like, if you go into a grocery store and you look at their books, they have all of these 6x4 books, which I have a 6x4 book. It's the size of this tiny book, like in comparison to like Shadow of the Fox, it's much tiny. But they all have a generic, either just like a generic space scene, or with the fantasy, it's usually like a scantily clad woman with big breasts and a very hunky man who is like has a sword and stuff. And there's really nothing about the cover that's telling me anything about the story other than it's the same as every other one on the shelf. And that's why I don't really like those. I really hate mass market in general. And I'm gonna talk about it a little bit more on another one of these, but specifically for sci-fi and fantasy one, I find the types of sci-fi and fantasy books that I like set something apart on the cover. And these ones that just have generic heroes and stuff on the covers with, or generic spaceships on the covers, like, it gives me nothing other than that's sci-fi, that's fantasy, and they're probably not very feminist at all and probably are very misogynistic and patriarchal, so not gonna pick it up. The next one is, and I feel bad because I see this with a lot of indie books, but it's the graphic design is my passion kind of covers, where they put it together in things like PowerPoint or on Paint or something, and the colors really clash and hurt your eyes. There was one book I remember a long time ago that my dad had in a garage sale, and it was like a gray cover with bright red text, and it literally hurt my eyes to look at. The contrast of it just was painful. And I know for indie authors, like, the budget for getting a cover done is a lot and it's a lot of work, but this is where the community is a great place to find people to help you. I raise money for my books because I definitely couldn't afford my cover artist. Even though my cover artist is my sister, I do pay her for the art that she does for my work. But if I was just on my own, I do my Kickstarters for my books so that I can get a cover done. It's not cheap, and I'm not saying that it's not, and if you're working with what you got, good on ya. But for me, if I'm gonna pick up a book, the cover is a lot. I mean, we say don't judge a book by its cover, but we do, and we all know we do. Bad resolution, there's no like blending in a lot of stuff that I see with certain covers, the way that the contrast between color choices. Even if you're doing this on your own, you can consult some people about how does this look and what can I do to fix it. That's why you can utilize your communities to help build something better than just something you're slapping together in PowerPoint, which I don't even, honestly, I will give credit to people who do it in PowerPoint because I have no idea how you've done that. I've only used PowerPoints for basic slides. So good on you then if you've done it that way, if you've made it look good. I just haven't seen a whole lot. So there you go, sorry. Number 2, back to mass market. This is the only one that I own. That is that. It's the 6x4. This is The 10th Kingdom by Catherine Wesley. This is the cover, the same cover that you'll see for the miniseries. This is a novelization of a well-beloved miniseries in 1999 that I loved so very much, and I didn't realize they made a book for it. You can see inside, like, it's fragile, but like you can see scenes from it and stuff, and that's why I bought it, because I love The 10th Kingdom so much. If you've never seen The 10th Kingdom, go watch The 10th Kingdom, and you'll understand a lot about my personality. This is a mass market. I don't hate it because it's a tie-in to the show that I know and love, but a lot of mass markets, especially mass market romance, the Fabio covers, the big hulky sexy man and the damsel in his arms who's just so taken by how beautiful he is. Oh my goodness. They're all the same book. They're all the same book. They have the same plots with a little bit of difference, but it's the same characters and it's the same book. It's just done in a lot of mass market to make money. Dan, I'm sorry, I told you I'm really stingy today. I can't stand it. And usually they're just trash. They're just trash. And I am not one to shy away from trash reads. Because I have my own trash, you can have your trash, as long as we acknowledge it's trash. All right? I'm a selection series trash girl, okay? I get it. I get the appeal, but cover-wise, I hate what it looks like, so there you go. And the last one. This one I hate so much. And a lot of people actually will ask me, have you ever read this such and such author? And usually it's these big name authors. And the answer is probably no, because their books have their author name bigger than the title, and it seems really conceited. And I don't know, like for a lot of them, it's probably not their fault. It's probably because, you know, they have publishing deals and the publishers want to emphasize, look at the new James Patterson. This is Stephen King. Here is Nora Roberts and Danielle Steele. I've never read anything by them. Well, with the exception of Stephen King. I have read a little bit, but I hate it. Closest example I can give of this from my shelf. I love this author so much, but that's Charlie Jane Anders. This is The City in the Middle of the Night. The font size is exactly the same, so it's okay to me, but I hate it when the author name is so much bigger than the title. Like, I want to know the book. That's what I'm picking the book up for. I want to do the insides, and if it's just like, again, like a Danielle Steele or a James Patterson, it's so big and distracting. The cover then doesn't tell me anything about the book, and then I'm not going to pick it up. So, close, but still good. I still love her. Okay, enough with the hate. Let's talk about the types of covers that I love. Typography. I love typographic covers, and I don't have great examples. I have better ones at my house, I think, but the closest I could get is like This Is Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. I like this kind of, it's a different kind of look to it. I also have like The Sisters of Shadow and Light. It's not really full typography, but it makes it look like it's a banner. It's a different way of doing it. Same with on the side, that it feels a little bit more typographical, but there's a lot better examples of this, I think. But for now, this is what I got for you. I love how you can express certain things with covers. And if you read Magic for Liars, like after I've read this, the way that this is set up actually makes kind of sense. Especially, it is a mystery, and just having these certain angles makes sense in my mind. And I don't want to spoil anything for you, but because it's a mystery thriller, it kind of works in the sense that I see these as not only a path, but a layout of the school, a library hint here, and the different twists it's going to take you on. Like, that's some good ways to do that. I haven't read this one yet, but I do love that it really displays more. Obviously, we're in a fantasy. We have a castle. We've got some princesses. There are mirror images here in the background castle. It's wrapped in this flag that wraps all the way down. It shows you that they're entangled in this whatever fantasy world that we're in that deals with some kind of royalty. And we have the biggest things you need to know: sisters, shadow, light. And so you're going to have one of each. They're sisters, but one of them is probably this and this, or they're both a combination of the two. And it just gives you so many questions and thought-provoking motions that make my brain go yoink. See, I get excited about book covers. Textures. I love feeling books. That sounds so weird. This is A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Brigid Kemmerer. This has the embossed text. You can feel this. It's on the side. Another good one, Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. Not only is the title raised, the mask here is, and I love its feel. I also like the difference between having a glossy cover and a matte cover. There's just different feels for the stories themselves. And I love holding books. I love how they feel in my hands. Feeling them, okay? I feel books. Sometimes I go to stores and I pick up a book and I go like this, and then I go, oh yay, or aw. It's a dream of mine for my own books, because they don't have any embossing because they're a self-published one. I dream of having the phoenix on it embossed, as well as the text of it. Like, I also want it to be a foil cover. That's another thing. Foil covers. I don't think I put this on my list. But foil covers, oh boy, because that's another element to it, where you have foil and stuff. There's no foil on these two. I have foil on another one, but we're going to talk about that one in a minute. Symbols. I love symbols because they make ya think. Remember how a second ago I was analyzing the entirety of a book cover because of how it looks and the symbols in it? Same thing. So it can be a big symbol, like with Grave Maidens here, or it can be multiple symbols, like in the Graces. I love the Graces and the Curses have such good covers, okay? Break it down. Break it down now. I'm fine. So we have Grave Maidens here. Grave Maidens, again, embossed text here. This isn't, though. I really wish that these were the butterflies and stuff. Actually, are they moths? I think those are moths. Moths turned to the flame. Oh gosh, more to think about. We have some like flowers here. Are they daisies? I'm not sure, but it's wrapped around. We get this interesting bottle and you're like, what is going on here? I don't know. It's called Grave Maidens. I don't see a grave. I don't see a maiden. What does this mean? And so I am intrigued by it. With the Graces, you get a whole lot here. You get a sky, you get this big starry sky in the middle, you get some storm clouds up here, you have this eye, you've got this flower here, you have storm clouds from underneath here. Like, what is going on? The eye is back. And then you open them up and there's more. This is even better, having more stuff on the inside. I love books that make me do this, that make me just want to examine everything for something that I'm missing. You know, that's what I love. Symbolic covers. You don't need a pretty girl on the cover. You need a symbol. I am loving this trend that we're seeing on all kinds of books, but that is illustrated covers. I have two very different types of illustrated covers right here. We have Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno Garcia and A Sweet Mess by J.C. Lee. This is an ARC. I got an ARC, guys. Oh my god, I won this in a Goodreads giveaway. What? This is the style that's very popular right now, especially in contemporary romances. So it's a full illustrated cover. I just love it. I love the idea of these illustrated covers. It's way better to me than having like models on this cover, because you could easily do that with this. You could have models especially for contemporary romance, but I love it more that it's illustrated, because it makes it feel more like the rom-com it's supposed to be instead of taking themselves too seriously. With this one, we have a more cultural illustration that gives you a bit more, so that we know that this is Mayan culture. You get the illustrations of these Mayan symbols, of the temple here, and of the character right here, which is an illustration. And it's even done on like a glossy cover. Most of the times on the illustrateds we see matte covers, but this is a glossy. I think this has done a really good job of being an illustrated cover, but also being very different from the full tropes that we're seeing in illustrated covers right now. Illustrations for the win. Pay your artists, people. And the number one type of cover that I am an absolute sucker for is controlled chaos. So we have books like The Night Country here, which is the sequel to The Hazelwood. It's a foil cover, but there's a lot of intricacies here. We have like a train, there's an opening door, there's some coffee here, there's candles, moon, keys. We've got this hand coming out of the water. We have a girl standing in an archway, a pen, book, letters, these vines are going over, we have a heart here, we've got some space and night sky. There's just so much going on that, again, thought-provoking. I am an absolute sucker, especially if they're like nature focused, like if it has a lot of flowers and leaves and stuff like that. Big time sucker for it. On top of that, this is more another controlled chaos cover that I really like. It's also illustrated. It's got some kind of typography. It's got an embossed text. We have a lot of little things going on here. So we have this tree up here. We've got some doors, book. It looks like a shirt of some sort up there. We've got this kid holding these scrolls. We got a rose, a light, a backpack. This kind of looks like camera film going on here. We've got this fox. We've got these ribbons, this little house and stuff. There's so much going on into this and the color schemes are so good too. Like getting good colors. That's a big one too. But there's just so much going on that it makes me want to pick the book up and read what else is inside, and then I will probably buy it. Let's be real. I buy a lot of books just based on their covers alone. Those are my top 5 covers that I don't like and absolutely love. What types of covers do you guys like? Again, these are my opinions. This is not set rules on what makes a good cover or not, but this is what I will always kind of pick up or not even bother touching. So let me know what you guys think, what ones that you like and what ones you hate. If you guys like the content that I am making, go check out my Ko-fi page, and you can support me by buying me a hot chocolate for only $3, or you can commission me to do other stuff too. Yay! And of course you guys can always reach me down below in the comments or on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Stop talking to me. Mayan culture, right? Or is it? Yes, okay. Focus on my face.